What's up, guys? So we're back in Satisfactory. We're going to jump into part two. We're going to automate a little further, unlock some more progress in the hub, work on that tier 0 until it's done, and then we'll get into tier 1. And we will address some power problems that are going to come up here in this video. So we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to make sure these are on, so that way our machines start going. So now both of these should be running. Awesome. This one's in standby, so we want to turn that back on. So now we're getting those green lights, which is good. And all of these should be producing. I believe I have my limestone shut off as well, so we're just going to run over here and take this off as standby. So all of these are going to start going, and that's a good start. So what we want to do next is we're going to focus directly on these constructors. So we're going to jump into this, and we're going to build 4 right away. So you can see on the right hand side I added them to the queue, and we're going to need reinforced plates, which we haven't built yet, and cables. So we're going to need quite a bit of iron. So we're going to run over here because we're producing these iron ingots, and we're just going to grab what we have there. The cable, we're going to need copper, so we're going to run over and we're going to grab copper. And these should be pumping out pretty good right now, but we're going to want this to start building more than just ingots. So we're going to want our resources we need to expand to just start being produced, so we don't have to craft in a bench. So that's what these constructors are going to do. They're going to allow us to pick what we want to craft as those ingots come out. So we're going to run over here, and I'm going to check my box, make sure. So I have a little bit of cables, so we're going to grab those, and we're just going to craft the cables we need real quick. So I need another 20 of them, so we're going to just craft up till it says we can craft 20 cables, and then we'll get these constructors going. Cool, so those are all the cables we need right there. Now we're going to craft some iron plates, because we're going to make reinforced iron plates. So reinforced iron plates, we need 6 per plate, and we need 8 plates. So we're going to go in here and we're going to craft a whole bunch of these. And I'm just going to craft up to probably about 100. So that way we can run a little more conveyor belt, because we're going to need them for the constructors. So we're just going to craft to 100 here, which should be plenty. We're not going too far. And then we need to craft some screws. So screws require iron rods. We already have some, so that's okay. So we're going to craft these. And you can see now we can produce an iron plate, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go all the way up to 8. So I'm going to have to craft a few more rods to make the screws. There we go. We're going to craft all 8 of these. And then we're on to our constructors. Perfect. So right away we're just going to run straight over here to our iron production, and we are going to click Q, and we're going to build a constructor under production tab. So remember the input output, we want the orange facing the output over here. And if you hold control, we'll lock on. Make sure it's straight on with that second green line. Great. And now we're just going to build this right across here. So now you're going to see that these start feeding in. We'll click on here, and I'm going to have this build iron plates for me. So we do need to connect it to power because it's a new building. Fortunately, we have one left here, so we'll just add that on, and our energy budget should still be good. You can always run up to these power poles and click. You can see where we're still below our capacity line. So our load rose up a little bit. You can see it was sitting a little lower, and now it's a little higher because we added another machine. Cool. What you could also do is switch these two pieces around. So this was just holding our iron ingots so it would keep producing. And now since we're producing these, it's only going to hold up to 100. So we can make another container at the end, or just move this container over, whichever you like. But we'll hold off for just a moment. We're going to run over here, put down another constructor as well. And this one we want to line up. Perfect. Build a conveyor belt, and then we're going to set this to make concrete because this is limestone. And we're going to need to give this power. Fortunately, we have one more node here, and we can just connect it right up. And our power should still be okay. We're getting closer and closer here. We might be able to put one more constructor up where the copper is, so we're going to try it. Which we need a little bit more cable because we made more power lines to connect those things. So we're going to go craft a little bit of cable real quick. Fortunately, it's pretty quick crafting cable, so it will not take a lot of time. We're just going to craft, I'm going to craft 20 pieces of cable. And if you heard that noise, we just ran out of power. So either our load was too high or we ran out of fuel, and I bet we ran out of fuel. Let's go take a look. So this one's still running, this one ran out of fuel. So I'm going to go build this other constructor real quick, and then we're going to do a fuel run. So we're just going to collect a ton of leaves. We're going to address this power problem here in just a few moments. But what I would recommend is get your little crate in your hub just full of stacks of leaves at this point. So that way you can keep it fueled while you're expanding. If not, you're just going to be running back and forth, and in my opinion, just make a big run for the fuel, so that way you can keep it running for a while, and hopefully we can get to the point where we're not using leaves anymore. But we'll see what we can do. So I placed this next constructor up here. What we're going to want to do is give this power as well. And I believe we have one spot on this node. Alright, so let's do a quick run for a bunch of leaves. I'm going to set this real quick actually to produce wire. Great. It's not going to run right now because we're out of power. But we will, we're going to do a big run real quick for a ton of leaves. And we'll just stack it up in our, hold some in our inventory and put the rest in our box at the hub. Awesome. So right there I have quite a few stacks of leaves there. So we're just going to throw a stack in each one, and we're going to try to work pretty quick here. So that way we can keep everything running well. So we reset it, and we're good to go. Okay, so our constructors are going, and they're going to start producing. What we want to do here pretty quick is look at our next tier upgrade, and we're going to select this milestone. So we need iron rods, we need plates, we need wire, and we need concrete. So fortunately, it's going to start producing majority of those for us at this point. In just a few, we'll expand this, but see, we already have 44 plates there. Grab some concrete, and you can always, if you want to move a little faster, you can pick up a little bit that's in that storage unit right there, and we're going to craft a few by hand just to keep it moving. We're going to run up here and we're going to grab wire as well. So we'll get this hub 6 upgrade going, and then we'll have a way to craft some more fuel here in just a moment. So we're going to look at the constructor, pick up the wire that it has. I'm going to grab a stack of copper. And we're going to just run back down real quick. So we're going to go straight to the hub. And we're going to get this hub upgrade done. So let's just do the wire right away. So we need 60 wire. So we're going to craft through this and get the 60 we need. Throw the 60 in. We need 100 iron rods. So we're going to produce... We don't have enough ingots, which is okay. We'll just craft these plates out real quick. Just what we have. Just throw the plates in. We're going to need 40 more, which is okay. We're going to craft out this concrete real quick. We'll throw the concrete in. So we need 40 more plates and we need iron rods. So we're going to run over here. Hopefully we have 40 more plates at this point. We might not yet. 60, so we're good. We're just going to change the production of this to iron rods real quick. So we're going to select recipe and then iron rods, and it's going to convert it over to producing iron rods. So we're going to have that start for us. Over here, I'm going to grab this surplus of iron ore and just start crafting some myself, just to keep it moving. Because right now we're fighting against our power. So our power is going to quickly run out because we're just burning leaves, which burns really quick. Okay, we're going to build out these rods. And we're going to throw the iron rods in and the rest of the plates we need. And hub upgrade 6 is done. So this is going to unlock a few things for us, some buildings and some parts. So if we look in here, we now can build more biomass burners, which is good, and we can build the space elevator, which is going to be important here in just a second. So now what you can do, so let's just check our power. So we're already burning through this really quick. A new thing we can craft at our workbench is called biomass wood or biomass leaves. So these will burn longer than the leaves will, and it consumes leaves or wood, hence wood or leaves next to biomass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft out I'm going to craft out the rest of this wood, but I'm going to craft out 2 stacks of 200 minimum, and I'm going to throw those in our biomass burners at the moment. So we're going to come back over here, and I'm going to take the leaves out, and it's going to shut it down because it has nothing to burn. We're going to throw the biomass in there. We're going to go here, take this out, and throw the biomass in here, and then we want to reset with the fuse. Cool, and now we're producing again. So these burn slower, which is good. It's going to give us a little more time in between refills. What I recommend doing at this point, just all the leaves you collected, craft into biomass and throw it in your crate. So that's what I'm going to do here is I'm going to craft out the rest of my 4,000 leaves into biomass. It's 10 stacks of leaves per 1 biomass, which is fine. And we should be good to go. So I'm going to craft this out. Cool, so I crafted out all the biomass from the leaves and the wood I have. So now I have a bit of a surplus, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 stacks. So I have a little bit of a surplus, which is good. I'm just going to throw these all in this crate because there's no reason to carry them all around. I'm going to take out all of this surplus stuff here that we can use to craft and put all these other things in. So like the pale berries, the alien carcasses, I'm just going to put the rest of these in there as well. And we're okay there. Okay, cool. So now we're producing a little bit of resources by ourselves, which is good. What we could do is set up a little more automation, but I want to push a couple more tiers before we do that. So now we have tier 1 and tier 2 unlocked, and you can see there's a whole bunch of different options here. Our first move should be logistics in tier 1, and we're going to set that milestone. So we need plates, we need bars, and we need wire, and we need a lot of it. So we're just going to throw in what we have, and we're going to go check our producers and see what the constructors have for us. So this one, 87, good. And we're going to run up here and we're going to check this for wire. Hopefully we have some. Hopefully we have a stack of wire. Hopefully there's 100 up there. And there's not, but we're going to be close. Oh, there we go. We have over 100. My bad. Cool, so 254, which is pretty good. That gets us pretty close. I'm going to run back to the hub real quick and just throw what I have in, and we can make these rounds a couple times. We can produce some by hand. What we're trying to get with the logistics is the splitter and merger parts for the conveyor belts, which is going to help us out in the long run. So we're going to throw all this in. We must have enough here. I'm going to craft. Let's see. I'm going to craft iron plates. I'm going to just craft all of these out because I can't. So I'm just going to craft out all of the raw ore I have real quick. So bear with me. Our constructors and our miners are going to be producing more materials for us, which is good. But I'm just going to bust this out. So bear with me here. Awesome. So we're just about there. I'm going to go grab the rest of the iron rods we need. Hopefully there will be enough produced here. Almost. We need 10 more. So we're going to grab 10 more. Should knock them out pretty quick. Cool. We're going to throw the 10 in. And we're going to do the launch pod. So at this point, the launch pod will now have a countdown in the top right corner. So pod will return in roughly 4 minutes. So we can't even do another upgrade until that pod returns. So we can look at the next ones. That's okay. It's going to give us a little time to work on some stuff we want to work on. So let's go. We're going to click Q and we're going to look in logistics. And so we have a conveyor lift and the merger and splitter. So what we're going to do is we're going to produce 2 splitters. So I cleared my list, but 2 splitters here. And we're going to want to produce another constructor. And so let's take a look. So we need iron plates, we need cables, and we need reinforced iron plates. I'm going to go convert this to creating plates again. Because I don't necessarily need a ton of rods right now. So we're going to put that on plates. And it's going to start producing plates for us, which is good. What I'm going to do is grab a little bit of this. And I'm just going to make some plates myself. Because we're still not automated enough to the point where we just have stacks of them. Which we're going to get to here in a moment. But I'm going to craft... I'm going to craft out some plates and some screws. So we're going to need 2 reinforced iron plates, 12 cables, and just 4 iron plates. But we're going to need the resources to produce reinforced plates. So we're going to craft a few more of these, and now we can make our 2 plates. And we're going to need cable, but I'm going to craft out some more of this because we're going to need it for conveyor belts. So I'm going to craft out probably, we're going to craft 50 plates just to have them in the inventory. And then we're going to go and we're going to craft our cables. So craft some wire, and we need 12 cables, but we're also going to need cable to run wires because I'm going to build another constructor as well, and we may hit a power wall again, which if we do, we'll handle it. So we're gonna craft these. Alright, and we're set to go. So we're gonna run over here to the one that produces iron, and I am going to erase the constructor, this conveyor belt, and the storage container. All the stuff that's in it goes into your inventory. So if it's holding anything, it'll just go straight into your inventory. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to logistics, and I'm going to pick a splitter. So you see the splitter has 3 outs and 1 in. So I'm going to line the splitter up here. And we're going to run our conveyor to it. So now this is going to feed into here. And then I'm going to build 2 constructors. So we should have the resources from the first one we just destroyed or dismantled. And I'm just going to place one here. And the next one just about here. And then click 3.
Milestone exchange
we still have
concluded.
plates.
Fixit freighter reentry complete.
So we're going to connect these to run the iron ingots into. We're going to have one constructor produce plates, and the other constructor produce iron rods. We need to run power to this. We only have 1 point available here. So what we need to do is build another power pole. So I'm going to need some concrete and some wire. I'm just going to produce some wire real quick and some concrete. then we're good there. And we're going to go and we're going to add on to this. So I'm going to run a power line from here. I'm just going to place it in between. Just like that. And then run power to this one. Run power to this one. And we can check our power load here. And we're okay right now. So these two are going to start producing rods and plates. So at this point, what I want to do is set up a little storage area for myself. So what I want to do is I'm going to select base building in tier 1 for my next milestone. And I'm just going to get this done as soon as possible. So concrete, iron plates, and iron rods. So we're going to go check our concrete producer. It's full right now. It's not outputting to anything, so it's only going to hold 100, which is fine. So now we have 100. So it stopped producing because it filled up. I'm just going to throw this in. We're going to need some more, but it'll produce it for us. Grab some of these supplies that this is producing. Cool. Make sure I have none stored. Take out this wire. Oh, and we have 2 reinforced plates. Cool. Cool. So I need 54 more concrete, and I need, what, 76 rods? I can almost make all the rods I need, so I'm just going to craft these out. And the reason I like doing this, we could set up storage early, but I like to do it this way because it's a little bit of a cleaner look. But this tier unlock is going to give us base building pieces, modular pieces, so you can make it look a little cleaner. So we're going to do that right away. Throw that in there. Grab just a few more from the one that's producing iron rods over here. Check what we have for concrete. $23, that's fine. I'm gonna run back over here, throw that in there, and probably just produce the rest of the concrete we need. Which we're still going to be a little short, but that's okay. A little bit of running back and forth. Three more, and I mean, we should have it in this constructor. Yep. Cool, so we're going to send this off, and it's going to unlock some base building pieces. So if we look in here, we can click foundations, and we have some foundation pieces. So I am going to build these. So what these require is concrete. So we're just going to need a bit of concrete, but not too much. I mean, we're producing some right now, which is good, but I might just bust a little bit more out. So we're going to have a little bit of a surplus here. So I'm going to just craft about a stack of concrete, and then we will move forward. Alright, so we're going to produce... I'm going to actually adjust this because he's a little off. So we're going to replace the workshop. Where is it? It's in production. So workshop. I'm just going to put it here. And then we'll go back in. We're going to go to foundations in the new tab. And we're going to place a few foundations. And I'll just line them up like this. So I'll do 3. By 3 by 2 is good. So now you have like a little area here. And what we're going to build is some storage containers. We also have the lookout tower unlocked. So I'm going to build one for iron rods, one for plates, one for concrete, and one for the wire we're building. So 4 total. So when we add them like that, we can see what we need on the right hand side. We have the rods we need, and we have the plates we need. And I'm going to build these right over here. So I like to do this because it gives us a storage area real close to the hub, so we can access resources fairly easy. So we'll just place them like this, click control, you can line them up with each other. Alright, so there's all 4. And we do want to make sure that the output is on this side, towards us, and then the input is on this side. So now what we need is quite a few plates, at least initially, quite a few plates. We're going to grab, probably just grab the concrete that's been produced. And we're going to run conveyor belts across and over. So this one we can build, and I'm going to put this one all the way here at the end. And so I'm going to run it like this, place a point here, and then run it in. So now our iron rods are going to come straight over here to the base and just work down the assembly line. Same thing with the plates. We are going to run out of plates, so we'll build to this point. And fortunately there's some coming out, so I'm just going to pick these up this way. And we're still running out of plates, which is okay. We're going to let that stockpile for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up here to the copper production and just grab what's out of that constructor. It's going to be the wiring, and that's fine. We can just grab that wiring, and I'm going to throw it in one of those containers right away. So that way this doesn't stop producing. I doubt it's full. It's almost there. But now we have that wire, and we're going to run down here. I'll just grab what's out of the concrete holder as well. And then I'm going to go take a quick peek at our biomass burners and see where they're at with power. They haven't shut off yet because these are still producing, but they're probably close. Let's see. So they're halfway through their stacks, so you can tell that the biomass burns a lot longer than just leaves or just wood or just petals, which is good. So collect these plates, and we can probably finish up this line. Cool, so those are going to run over here as well. And what I like to do on this side is I'll just put oh, it's not cooperating, but that's okay. We'll come back to this in just a moment. So we can check these. So we can see this is collecting the iron rods. I'm just going to throw the rest of my rods in there. This one's going to be collecting the plates because we ran the cable to it. And these two are empty, but I'm going to make this one probably the wire. And this one the concrete. So once we have enough plates, we'll be able to run those over here as well. What we can do now is we'll just take a peek into our hub, And so the next one in tier 1 is field research. So this is a really good one. It gives you the MAM, which is allows you to scan new materials and stuff, and new craftables will come from it. In tier 2, we get some more part assembly. So an assembler, which is a step up from the constructor. Obstacle clearing, so we'll get a chainsaw to help collect fuel. Jump pads kind of help you travel around. I'm not a huge fan of the jump pads. Resource sink, you put in resources you produce to get points to access the awesome shop. And then logistics 2 is going to give you better conveyor belts, stackable conveyor belt poles, and the Mark II conveyor lift, which is good. So at this point, I'm just going to refuel these power generators for the moment, just so they're stocked all the way up. Cool. And so those are going to keep going. Our power load is getting really close to max. So what I would recommend doing at this point, since we've unlocked it, is we'll produce one of these, a biomass burner, ourselves. So before we finish these conveyors, I'm just going to get another burner going, so that way we can expand how much of a load we can have on our system. So we need plates, we need wire, and we need rods. Fortunately, I picked up the wire, and the plates and the rods have been produced. So I like to place the burners right next to the existing ones, just so they're all in one area. So I just will place it kind of facing the same way. They look a little different, just like this. And as we need more, I'll just build this way, or I'll build a row on this side, and it kind of helps out that way. So this is maxed out. You can see there's 4 wires into it. So what I'm going to do, number 1, is put fuel in here, which that's not maxed, but that's okay. And so we need a little more concrete to build another pole. So we'll grab a little bit of concrete, which I think, do I have any in here? I don't. We'll just run and grab some. And we're gonna run a power pole from this guy, and I'm gonna just put it right straight in front. I'm going to delete this wire, which is going to shut our power system down because there won't be enough power going through. Connect this one here, and then connect the one line there. And then we need to reset the fuse. And now you can see we have more capacity. We can put more of a load on, which is good. So that'll allow us to expand a little further, which we will do here in a few moments, but at this point we're just gonna hold off, let this produce a little bit, let this produce a little bit. These two are still producing, they just don't have a place to go just yet. And let's go ahead and pick the next tier to do. So we're just going to finish up tier 1 and do field research. So we're going to select this milestone, and we're going to need quite a few screws, some wire, and some plates. So we can do this first, or we can finish up the conveyor belts. So in this meantime, this kind of waiting period, you could craft more of these if you wanted, or you could work on collecting some more fuel. I'll let that's up to you. So craft it by hand and keep moving, or collect fuel. But I'm just going to let it run for a few moments, and I'll come back in about 20 minutes, and we'll see what has been produced here for us, and we'll just wait and see. So it's been a little less than 20 minutes, but that's okay. I crafted some cable in that 20 minutes. I crafted some screws, and I refilled our power generators, and made some coffee. So that was good. Okay, so now we could finish this up. So I crafted the screws we needed, which is cool. But let's see what we have for plates. So almost 2 full stacks. That's pretty good. What I'm going to recommend we do is just get these flowing all to one place. So I am going to run... We'll run the concrete. What I'm going to do is remove this storage container, and I'm going to put it on this side. Because I usually do both sides with storage. And we'll just set it like that. So that way we don't have to run a conveyor all the way around. So we'll just run it from the back of here. Which, did I place it the right way? Let's see. We did. Okay, that's good. So now that's running over, which is good. And I'm actually going to place the wire holder little unit here on this side as well. Cool. And we'll run over here. We should have enough plating to make this conveyor. If we don't, I will be surprised. Thoroughly surprised. So we're going to run up here. Look at the big fly boy. And then we're going to run over here. And we'll run this conveyor belt. I'm just going to run it right here. And then we'll run it down. Oop, took some fall damage. Be careful, there is fall damage in this game. And I'm just going to run it. I like to run most of my conveyor belts fairly close to each other. This game it's very easy to get super disorganized with where your conveyor belts are running. So here. Cool. So now we got all of that piping down. You can see it starting. Cool, cool. So now we have all 4 of these started, which is good. And these are a little funky, but it's because those weren't placed directly on here. But what I like to do normally is just place just a small little conveyor belt on the front so I can see what's in each one, so it'll just sit out like that. But I'm not liking the way this looks, so we'll just remember for now. Cool. So we got some automation going, which is good. We've still got enough power. We built that extra burner. In that 20 minutes, I filled up the burners. I'm not sure if I said that. But we'll look here now. So we'll finish up this last one for Tier 1, which we have all the materials for, and we'll launch. Cool. So we should have
the molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, will allow
another personal storage box, so just like this one.
Items and buildings
and we'll have the MAM, which we'll probably just get this out right away. I'm going to put it on this side. So what we need is 3 more of the reinforced plates. We have 2 still. So we'll just grab a few plates. We have some screws already in our inventory, and we'll just knock these out real quick. Cool. And I'm just going to place this one on this side, just behind this burner, if I can. Oh, it's on the rock. We're going to place it on the other side. Just here. So this is a cool piece here. So if we go in here, it'll let us research all kinds of different things. So alien organisms. So here are those animal carcasses, or the alien carcasses we were collecting in the last video. And we'll just grab those real quick. And if we go in here, we can throw one in, click on it, and start research, and it's going to research this for us. Cool. So it says the alien analysis, or the analysis of alien carcass is complete. Please choose a new node in the tree to begin a new analysis. So now we can turn alien carcasses
New recipe
into biomass, which is kind of cool. So organs, we haven't killed anything that has organs, so we can't do that. We could throw flower petals in here. So we have some in our storage. We'll grab the flower petals, and you'll collect the flower petals as you run around and collect leaves and stuff. So you should have some as well. We'll start research on that. Awesome. So that's done. And that unlocks so the color gun. So we would need the cost at the bottom is all of these items. So plates, screws, and the wire. This one would be color cartridges, so that would just be flowers. And then nutrients. So I have some pale berries, so we'll check that out. And then we also have the nuts in there. And then there's also this little flora you can pick up too. Which we don't have any of those at this point. But we'll grab this, and if we run over here, we can research. So let's just pick this one, and we'll start research. Awesome. And so now we can do nutritional mixture. So that's cool. We could also start research on that one. Awesome. Oops, not what I meant to do. And then, so there's also hard drives. So there will be crashed ships from the same, come from the company you work for in this game, and you can find those and put them in here. Unknown materials. So that stuff, fungus-like vegetation, strange energy readings, crystalline materials, and unknown chemical elements. So one we could look at real quick if we wanted. Right up here, you see this little thing? That's a power slug. So if we run around, we can go pick him up. So we're going to run around this hill real quick. And we just got to jump across and pick up the power slug. Green power slug. There are different colored ones. And if we run over to the MAM,
seems to emit unfamiliar energy readings, which could potentially be retrofitted into fix-it technology.
Now power slug is one we could
can now be
put in here, and if we click on it, we can start research. And now you can use power slugs to make new parts. So you can see overclock production. Another tier is the yellow power shards and the slug scanning. So we could start that research. It costs this, so we could just research it. It's going to take 2 minutes though, so that's okay. And maybe we'll do next. We'll do the overclock, but we'll let that research, and we'll hold off for a moment. Okay, so now we're in tier 2, and we're going to try to plow through tier 2, and then at the end of tier 2. We'll probably be able to, we're going to have to build the space elevator here in a moment, which is a building we can build at this point, but I haven't set it up, which, actually, let's do that. We'll build the space elevator. So if we go into here and click special, you can see the space elevator is an option to build. It's a very large building, as you can see, but we don't have the materials for it. We're probably pretty close in production. So what we can do is click Q, and we'll add it, and we'll see what we need. So let's see how close we are. So concrete, we've got a little less than 100 to go. The wires, we've got a ways to go with the wiring. We almost have enough rods. And plates, we're still hurting on the plates, but that's okay. So what we'll do is, since we have some automation going and stuff is collecting, maybe we'll leave off this video. We got us all the way through tier 1. We finished up the tutorial, which was tier 0 here. We finished all these. We finished tier 1, and now we're in tier 2. And we'll be building the space elevator here in just a few. So what we'll do is we'll leave it off there. And in part 3, I will cover all of tier 2 and building the space elevator. So at this point, you could just let this stuff build up for a while. You could build some more automation, whatever you want to do. You just want to keep an eye on your power. So right now, we've kept it filled, or I have. So we're at 161. They'll all be around the same if you filled them all at the same time. 161 and 142. This one had a little less in it. But it's going to keep producing and make it a little easier for you. You could always run around, search for different pieces of flora or vegetation or some of those power slugs, and use them in here, use them to craft new things. So we have the power shard, which we unlocked from the slug. It just costs 1 green slug to produce. Anyway, that's part 2, and we'll get part 3 up here pretty soon. Thanks, guys. Let me know if there's anything you want to see. Again, if you want to play together, send me a message. Let me know in the comments. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. I'm still fairly small at this, and I just enjoy making videos. So if there's something you want to see, let me know. If there's a different game you want me to try out, let me know. I'm on board. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in part 3.